I know him from a feud that spanned a few years and 3 companies over 2 state lines. You may know him from his appearances on Heat and Jack. You may know him as the trainer at the school, at the House of Truth school, training school, teaching guys like Zach Allen, C.J. Parker, Brian Gorey, Alex Shelley, Jimmy Jacobs. If you're a Canadian customs officer, you know him as the guy who was on a mission from God, who couldn't be stopped. But everybody in the wrestling community knows this guy as the manager to the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion Jay Lethal. We have on the phone with us tonight Truth Martini. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? How's everybody feeling?
Feeling fantastic. Truth, I have not seen you, my friend, for a little over a year, man, when you got inducted into the War Wrestling Hall of Fame. How are you doing?
Yeah, the War Wrestling Hall of Fame, that was a very special night for me because that's actually where I got started in Lima, Ohio. And War, even since then, I'm telling you, the War Wrestling Company is doing very good. They draw very, very good houses. And then, the award they gave me, I'm telling you, I've been in this going on 19 years and I still get choked up when I get awards like that, because it gives you, satisfaction for what you're doing, It's an honor.
For sure, man. For sure. War's doing big things. I'll actually be there on Saturday. It's got a show this month. This Saturday I'll be there. And, we did a lot of battles with old Michigan Invasion at the War Wrestling.
Yeah. I remember those days. Me and Nate Matson, the Michigan Invasion and War Wrestling. Those were, as we like to say, the glory days.
For sure, my brother, for sure. You touched a little bit about getting started in Lima. Tell us about that. Tell us about your time at Al Snow and how that all came to be.
Yeah, well, basically, it was 1997, and I was bartending. I live here in Detroit, and I'm just, a Detroit boy, Detroit bad boy, to be honest. And then 1998 rolled. In 97, I was watching public Comcast cable. And all of a sudden, I saw a local independent show. I never knew they existed. And just by that alone should say, promoters, please promote. I loved wrestling ever since I was 5 years old, and I was 22 years old the first time I realized there was a such thing as an independent show. And I loved wrestling, so promoters, please promote. There are people that love wrestling, they just do not know that it's happening. So I found out in 1997 it was happening, and I went to these shows religiously for about 7 months straight, and I just started asking questions. I was being annoying to people. How do I do this? How do I get in this? And I became friends with friends with a few of the guys, and basically all the fingers pointed at Body Slammers, Al Snow's Body Slammer School in Lima, Ohio. And then what happened there was I became 23 years old, and then I remember I had ruptured my lower back when I was 22. I couldn't even stand up straight for almost 9 months. And then I was like, my back is still hurting. I'll do it next time. And then I heard myself say those very negative words, next time. There is no next time, man. There's never a next time. I put my big boy shoes on. I was like, man, I'm doing this right now. The day that the school started, because it was a 8-week course, me and my lifelong friend, Mark Joka, we joined up together. And Mark Joka, to be honest, didn't even know that I was going. At 6 a.m., I left my house to make the drive to Lima, Ohio, because class started at 10 a.m. I go to Mark Joka's house at 7:30 a.m. This was before everybody had a cell phone. So I'm totally dating myself. And then there I am in front of his house in my car, and he walks out going to work. He had a job. And he looks at me, he goes, what are you doing here? I go, I'm going to train to be a professional wrestler. Are you coming, yes or no? This look came over his face. It was great, brother. He ran back into his house. Next thing I know, I hear his mom and dad arguing, and his family is like my family. We're Albanian. Like my family, we speak Albanian, they don't speak English, so it's kind of funny, just the way it sounds. There's all kinds of arguments going on. I'm hearing his father say, "Don't throw your life away, go to work, what are you doing?" This and that. Next thing you know, Mark Dover comes with a packed bag and he goes, "Let's go." That's spontaneous. That's spontaneous at its best. And then we went to Al Snow's school, and they weren't expecting us to be there because we didn't even sign up officially. But we were there before 10 a.m., and we gave them our money, and we joined the class. And that's how it all started. 10 weeks later, the very last day of school, we learned everything about wrestling inside and, more importantly, outside the ring. That's what a lot of people are lacking nowadays, the importance of etiquette. It's not dead at all. Saying thank you at the end is not dead. Trust me. People get fired over not saying thank you. I've seen this with my own eyes plenty of times. People like to say, you don't have to say it all the time. No. Be on the safe side. So basically, on the very last day of school, I was like, this last day is about to be magical. He's going to say these magic words and send me on my journey. And he said, "All right, guys." So Al Snow walked in the gym, and he said, "All right, guys, now go get it." And he walked away. And I was like, how? Go get it? What do you mean go get it? How? What go get it? And then next thing I know, I just showed up at an independent show, and when I introduced myself, because of course he taught us etiquette on how to introduce yourself in all the proper way. And as soon as I would say the word, I was trained by Al Snow, they would do a double take and look at me again. And they'd be like, "Really?" So I guess Al Snow had a reputation for being a good trainer and producing good students. And I'm not going to lie, every time I mentioned his name in the beginning, that's what got me booked on shows. But of course, you can lead the horse to water. You can't force him to drink. But then it was my turn. Once I got booked, I gave it 100% every time. As I look back and I still watch those old tapes, man, was I the shit.
We all
and I
were.
love everything. So that right there is pretty much how I got started.
Right on, man. Right on. When you talk about your experience there at the school, and I'm going to fast forward through this just a little bit, and then I'll pass around the horn. But you are also known not only for your work in the ring, not only for what you got going on now with managing, but for being a great trainer yourself. How'd that all start off for you with the House of Truth?
Well, how that started off is in 2001, there was a local wrestling company called Thunder Zone Wrestling that doesn't exist anymore. And they had a trainer there, and I was going there to work out. And I don't know, I was the one, not to toot my own horn, but I was one of those guys that was just, I don't know, natural, I guess, And I picked up everything very quick. And the trainer didn't show up one day, the trainer there, and then the owner of the company asked me, he said, "Martin, would you like to take over the class today?" And I'm like, "Huh? Take over the class?" And all I did was go back because while I was training, I took notes of everything we did that day. And the days were 6 hours long. I mean, everything. I mean, every hour of every single day, I took notes on what we did step by step. So, and I had that thing basically memorized because I do my homework because this is what I want to do for a living. I don't want to play wrestle. I want to be a true professional wrestler. So, I just went back to the way I was taught. Basically, it was just Al Snow's words coming out of my mouth at first, just because, hell, I can even imitate them. And then basically I started teaching class. And then, believe it or not, the other trainees there requested to the owner, they asked if I could be the trainer instead, which I thought was very bizarre. And then he actually asked me, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then so I started training the guys there 4 days a week. It was Thunder Zone Wrestling School. It was 4 days a week for a whopping $40 a week. That's what I got.
Awesome.
$40 a week. $40 a week to go train these guys. But you know what? I loved it. And then the more I was training the guys, and I was working at the same time, and then it just for me alone, the experience I was getting, all the repetition I was doing, and that just went ahead, and then I took Al Snow's training, and I kind of tweaked it. because wrestling, it is an art form. It's not the gospel. There's no such thing as thou sayest in wrestling. So some of the things Al Snow showed me I liked and I kept, and some of the things I threw away. And anybody that wants to get into wrestling, and when anybody who's a wrestler right now too, you don't always have to follow the rules that you were taught by, because there are 100 ways to do something right, but there definitely is a way to do something wrong. Just because you're doing something different, it doesn't make it wrong. It's just a different way of doing things. And I want a lot of guys to know that, because some people think like, oh, he did it this way, that was wrong. No, it's not wrong. It was just different. And I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
For sure.
Yep, and then basically what happened was that I started training there, and then when I started adding up the money, because again, I wasn't a kid like these other guys. You know, these other guys are 17, 18. At this point, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 23, 24. I was 26 years old at this point, okay? 26 years old is not a kid. Well, I don't know. I'm about to be 41 May 8th, so right now, that does sound like a kid. But,
right.
I wasn't a young teenager. So I did the math real quick, and I'm just like, yo, I could be making, you know, like pretty much I'm getting robbed here. I'm doing all the work, and they're paying me $40 a week. And then I just actually called up Al Snow, and we talked for a second, and I talked about the House of Truth, and he says, feel free. He goes, you seem qualified. And there it was. Nowadays, it seems like just whoever opens up a wrestling school, and I'm not down talking wrestling schools. And I say it all the time. I respect professional wrestling trainers. They do come from the school of hard knocks. But me, I come from the college of kicking doors down. There's a big difference there. It's a new era, brother. You know, either change with the times or get out. I'm telling you, because a lot of people are fighting a losing battle. But there's some trainers out there that probably shouldn't be trainers. You know what I mean? Just like there's some wrestlers out there that should not be wrestlers. And some people at their wrestling schools, they do it because they like money. Me, my school is $2,000. I made it very affordable. Other places are $4,000, other places. And the places that are like $600, that should tell the story right there. You know, you're going to get what you're going to pay for. But me, I love training. Wrestling for me is 7 days a week because I train Monday through Thursday religiously. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm performing. 7 days a week, I see a wrestling ring. That's my life. And, and just since we're on the topic, HotWrestlingSchool.com. Very easy to remember. HotWrestlingSchool.com. All the information is on there. And I don't want to say I judge people, but please, people, read the information on the website before you start asking questions. You know, you don't have to ask me how much does the school cost when it says it right there on the website. You know what I mean? So guys, read the information on the website first, and then there's no such thing as a stupid question. Feel free to ask me all the questions you want. Then after you read the information, the process can move a lot quicker that way.
Right on, brother. The House of Truth Wrestling School definitely has my stamp of approval. I'm going to pass around the horn here and let these guys fire away at your truth. Let's get Sign Guy in here.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part you were saying.
Sign Guy's going to talk to you here for a second. You got some questions for Truth, Sign Guy?
I do, Drew. Thank you very much. Mr. Martini, one of the things that has been a trend the last several years in wrestling on the national stage is the lack of managers. You're one of the more prominent managers still out there on the national television wrestling stage. Why do you think that companies de-emphasize the art of managing?
Managing, man, even the word manager. I don't even consider myself a manager, to be honest. Manager. Why I do. Hold on a second, guys. I want you guys to hear me closely, okay? Listen close. Like I said earlier, I see a ring 7 days a week. but it's been over 5 weeks since I've seen the ring, and that was because I got my neck broken by Donovan Dijak. I'm on my couch right now, missing every Ring of Honor show while my champion, Jay Lethal, is out there without me. Do you know what I mean? I got neck surgery. I got 4 fusions done. The videos are all on YouTube. Watch them. It says, confirmed, Truth Martini going home. Watch the video. And it shows where I break my neck. It says, Truth Martini, stretch it out. That's when Donovan Dijak, that motherfucker, made his return. Now listen, I fired Donovan Dijak. He says he quit. But what he doesn't know is the reason I fired him is because he quit. Some of you might not understand what that means, but if you think about it, you'll get it. Because when he loses, I lose. And the loser is a quitter to me. And because he was a quitter, I fired him. And right now I have a neck brace trying to talk to you guys around my neck, and I got 4 fusions, and it was nothing but 5 weeks ago that this operation happened. I'm trying to keep my composure, but the love, my one true love in this world as professional wrestling, I have not seen in 5 weeks. And coming up in Ring of Honor, Jay Lethal has a match against Colt Cabana coming up on my birthday, May 8th, at the Ted Reeves Arena in Toronto. I'm supposed to be there. You know why? Because professional wrestling is my life. It's my life. It's not something I do on the side. It is not a hobby of mine. You guys do not get it. 4 fusions in my neck, 2 screws. The X-ray is on the X-ray is on the video. Excuse me, I'm trying to keep my composure. But some people say separate business and pleasure. But sometimes it's hard for me to do that because wrestling is my life. Some people say don't take it personal, but when 2 people are face to face, how personal can personal get? Jay Lethal, I saw something special in him. And I told them, if you win, I win. We have an agreement. And me, I felt I was always destined to be a champion. But in 2005, May 13th, I'll never forget that date. May 13th, 2005, I broke my neck and I was temporarily paralyzed. And then I kept wrestling. After my neck was broken, I couldn't do it any longer. And then that's when I wanted to become a quote-unquote manager because I realized that anybody else would have given up. But me, what I did is I saw all my students I was teaching going on, having success and making great money, and that hole, that void I had in me filled up because when they won and they succeeded, I felt like I won and I succeeded. And then there was my fucking answer. I saw the man that nobody else saw, Jay Lethal. He was already in Ring of Honor 3 years at that point. Sure, he was television champion, but I saw greatness. I saw a legend in the making. I talked to him. I gave him my proposition. Me and him, we're best friends. This isn't just manager, wrestler. Me and Jay Lethal, we're best friends. And Jay Lethal, and tell me, and if you guys say no, you'd have to be lying. Tell me that Jay Lethal is not one of the greatest professional wrestlers in the entire world today. Answer.
Absolutely, he is.
That's right. The reason why is because he has the body and the mind for it. Me, I have the mind for it. Me, I don't have the body because of my injuries. I could not wrestle. But us two together took him to the top like it never took anybody else to the top. And it's funny because people are saying Jay Lethal, how long he's been a champion has been great. My friends, you have no idea. This is just the beginning. The House of Truth is never going to end. It's never going to end. Here I am 5 weeks after my neck surgery. And I'm talking to you guys, and I'm going stir crazy, sitting at home because I'm supposed to be at these events with my man Jay Lethal because if he wins, I win. And then Colt Cabana pinned him the other day. Colt Cabana pinned him, and that means I lost. I do not like losing. I do not like losing. And Colt Cabana now gets a title shot, and I'm not going to be there because I'm still recovering from my neck. I feel robbed. I feel robbed, and Donovan Dijak, it is all your fault. It is your fault, Donovan Dijak. Listen here. Hold on, my blood's boiling, guys. My blood's boiling. I'm noticing as I'm screaming, my neck muscles are tensing up. I'm gonna have to go lay down. The Undisputed Wrestling Show it's been an honor having me on, guys. I wish the best for you guys. Social media, Truth on Facebook, Truth Martini, Twitter @TruthMartini, HotWrestlingSchool.com. If you want to be with a winner. If you want to be a winner, stay with somebody that never quits. 5 weeks after surgery, this is the last of Truth Martini.
Thank you, brother.